There's more breaking news coming in. India has also issued 4 notifications for naval firing in the coastal area off the coast of Gujarat. Again, the exercises about 85 nautical miles from where Pakistan is carrying out its exercises in the Arabian Sea. Now, the dates for the Indian exercises are between the 30th of April and the 3rd of May 2025. So, over the next 2 days, there are additional exercises and firing that is to be carried out. And I want to explain this to you on the map here. When you look at this map, it very clearly explains where off the coast of Gujarat. Now you're looking at Saurashtra, the coast of Gujarat, and then India virtually at the tip of its exclusive economic zone. That is where India is carrying out the exercises. Then you have the Pakistani Navy that's carrying out its exercises, and they've issued a NOTAM once again from the 30th of April till the 2nd of May 2025. But that may actually increase from what information that's coming in from across the border in Pakistan, where Pakistan is planning or is about to issue another notification for drills and for firing, not just at sea, but from land into sea. So what's the situation right now? The Indian Navy on a state of alert, operational readiness. It's conducting exercises in India's exclusive economic zone in the Arabian Sea, anti-ship and anti-aircraft missile firing. That's happening right now. Not just that, the Indian Coast Guard has also been deployed, but of course the Coast Guard is at India's maritime boundary. This is off the coast of Gujarat. This is where the Indian Navy is carrying out its exercises, but remember, you have also to ensure that subversive activity does not take place. Both in 1993 and in 2008, Pakistani terrorists had used the sea route to not just for terrorists to come into India, but also to send explosives and RDX in 1993 into India. That is why the sea coast is being protected in multiple tiers. Aggressive posturing by the Navy and defensive deployment by the Coast Guard and the Marine Police very close to the coast. Let's do a strength analysis of the Indian Navy and the Pakistani Navy. When you look at the strength of the Indian Navy and the Pakistani Navy, well, the Indian Navy far superior in terms of strength, 293 fleet strength as against 121 of Pakistan. But do keep in mind, India has a huge coastline, 7,500 kilometers as against only 1,000 odd kilometers of Pakistan that Pakistan has to protect. So the fleet strength, there's a huge difference. The big difference also comes in India's air arm and, of course, aircraft carriers. India has 2 aircraft carriers, INS Vikramaditya and INS indigenously manufactured INS Vikrant. Pakistan doesn't have a single aircraft carrier. Of course, India believes in sea control. Pakistan believes in sea denial. But India has 18 submarines, including nuclear submarines, Arihant and Arighat. Pakistan has 8 submarines, but Pakistan is acquiring a lot more in coming years from China. If we were to talk about the destroyers, and these are those huge ships with missiles on board, with helicopters on board. You have the Shivalik class, the INS Surat, for example. The latest has just conducted a test. India has 13. Pakistan doesn't have a destroyer. India has 14 frigates. Pakistan has 9. If we were to talk about corvettes, and let's now talk about, the faster, the missile boats, the faster moving ships that can carry out, inflict massive damage on the adversary, especially if you remember 1971, those missile boats. India has 18, Pakistan has 9. Petrol vessels, India 135 against Pakistan 69. Mine warfare, Pakistan has 3. Again, they want to protect their coast. And this, of course, information comes from global firepower. But when we talk about Indian Navy's air arm, remember, we also have that flying frigate, the P-8I. The navies of India and Pakistan, when you look at the map carrying out an exercise, barely 85 nautical miles from each other in the Arabian Sea. Tensions very clearly are mounting. How much of this is pure posturing, as some would say? How much of this is signaling, and what's the message that's being sent across? Remember 2016, the Army went in. 2019, the Indian Air Force went in. 2025, will the Indian Navy send out that message that terror is not acceptable to India at all, whether in Jammu and Kashmir or in any other part of our country, that punishment that has to be given to Pakistan's military jihad infrastructure. That and a lot more.